Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to Sundering Tarot. This is part 3 of my deck Strength versus Weakness series for the month of July. The deck we are covering for this month is the Tarot of Oneness, and if you missed the previous sections, they will be in the description box down below. I will also have the listing of the decks we are going to be discussing in the description box down below, just for future use. Apologies while I zoom us in here. And today we're going to start covering oracle decks that pair perfectly with the Tarot of Oneness. I will like to remind everybody that this is energetic pairing, not by aesthetics. So, and actually let us zoom in a little bit more. I'll probably have to zoom out later. Some of the cards I have to show you are rather large, and some are rather small. And the first one I have to show you is rather small. First, I'm going to show you indie decks, and then we'll trickle over into mass market. The first deck I'm going to show you is rather small. It's only 13 cards. This is Athene Nocturne's Fated Love Pocket Oracle. This came out in Kickstarter last year. And because her other deck, which I do have and will be showing you, went mass market, I assume this deck will eventually go mass market. So if you're looking for any deck that can do love relationships or relationships in general with the Tarot of Oneness, this is a good little deck to pick up if you can get a hold of it. Like I said, eventually it'll probably go mass market. Wouldn't be surprised. The other one's like 10 bucks from Hay House. So I assume that's where this would go mass market. And we're going to move right on along. And like I said, I will have these listed down below. The next deck I'm going to show you is a little bit larger. This is the Fairytale Oracle by Umbrella Tree. This was also a Kickstarter. I actually like this particular oracle. It's great with keywords to go with the stories. They're fairy tales from all over the world. And this deck can go pretty far with the Tarot of Oneness, just because the keywords are great. You can read into a lot of the energy and make the connections that you need to. It's really nice to utilize. Cover a lot of ground actually with those two. And the next indie deck we're going to look at is fairly new as a Kickstarter. This is the Elemental Empath Oracle by Mayuki Rose. And this is an oracle deck that has actual suits. So earth, air, fire, water, and what they call cosmos, which is spirit. And as much as this is geared towards female empaths, if you're a female reader or reading for a female, or even if not, just reading for an empath, I would say you could probably still utilize this deck fairly well. And it covers such a broad spectrum that I'm really happy that these two get along and pair well with each other. It was one of my does it pair questions. And to say that yes, it does, makes me happy. Alright, now we're going to start trickling into more mass market or indies that have gone mass market. Here is the other Athene Nocturne deck, which is the Crystal Ball Pocket Oracle. Like I said, you can get it on Hay House. It's just a simple yes, no, you know, this is a sign, unlikely, etc. deck. That's pretty basic. Give you quick answers and brief direction when you're asking questions of the Tarot of Oneness. It works really great for that. to utilize for a, non-romance version. And the next deck we're going to talk about is the Inner Fucking Peace deck. Okay, this is a Pauper Press deck. It's considered a motivational deck, actually. For the most part, you can find it on Amazon. And unlike other decks, this is double-sided. So you get like 60 cards, and they're double-sided. Like this one says 0 Fox given, and you're cute as hell, is what it says on the other the other side. Visualize world peace. Peace. It starts with releasing the bullshit. It's interesting that this pairs, and I kind of figured it would. Oh, that's perfect. The Devil card, and talk to the Hamsa, because I'm done listening. When I thought about decks to pair, one of the ones that I figured would pair right away with the Tarot of Oneness was this particular deck. This is very much about rest, relaxing, recouping, recharging, meditation. So self-care, and well, that's one of the strengths of the Tarot of Oneness. So yes, it does pair well. Plus, that deck is just too amusing. Okay, next deck. The Romancing the Angels Oracle. And yes, I do have a knockoff copy because the original copy is like twice the size, and unfortunately it is out of print. And I don't have like the $400 people are going to ask for the original. Although if somebody finds it a heck of a lot cheaper than that, please let me know. So for a romance oracle, if you want to talk about relationships, and have a bigger deck to utilize, and you're able to find a copy for this. This is actually fantastic to use with the Tarot of Oneness. It gives you quite a bit of range to explore new connections, old connections, and where things have or have not gone. Whether they were, unhealthy or healthy, it plays in very well to the Tarot of Oneness. And now we're going to get into mass market decks. The next one is the Sacred Travelers Oracle. This is a very common deck. It's been out for a while. It's very nice to utilize. It covers a broad spectrum. You can read into it pretty well. So no matter where you are in life, pairing these two will really help you navigate fairly well. I would say both decks can, when paired together, relate to any age group, whereas, some other pairings feel too old or too young. They just don't hit the spot. These two, when they work together, doesn't matter age group or gender. It works for everyone, and yet still manages to cover a fair bit of ground. Our next deck, some of you will recognize just from the backings. It's quite popular. This is probably the most popular Colette Baron-Reid Oracle. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle. And of course, this is another one of those that covers quite a bit of ground. You can read into, comes with a lot of messages. So spiritual messages, protection messages, abundance messages. So this, I actually love this as something that pairs really, 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 really well with the Tarot of Oneness. This is one of my favorite pairings, just because of all you can do with both decks. And of course, reminder, my pairings are for the energetic use of whether they get along, not for aesthetics. And if you don't have that particular Colette Baron-Reid Oracle, here is the Enchanted, Enchanted, Map. It also pairs, with the Tarot of Oneness. This is one of my favorite pairings, just because of all you can do with both decks. And of course, reminder, my pairings are for the energetic use of whether they get along, not for aesthetics. And if you don't have that particular Colette Baron-Reid Oracle, here is the Enchanted Map. with the Tarot of Oneness. So if you have one or the other, you can still use one of her decks that pairs. Or if you have both, you know, you get to cover more ground. And our next deck I'm going to show you is one of my favorite that I love as an oracle, but also one that I was happy that pairs. I'm going to have to bump this up just a little bit because now the cards are getting bigger. And that is the Whispers of the Ocean by Angela Hartfield. I love this deck. And yes, there is a few darker cards, but being an oracle that helps you see and make connections with a deck that has a strength of connections, I love this pairing. So when it comes to dreams, goals, ideas, these two, I think, pair well, with, especially with the information that you can be given at any point. And moving right along, because I have like 13 decks to show you. Believe it or not, we're going to now jump into the Heal Yourself Oracle by Ina Segal. This has some shadow work cards in it. I mean, victim consciousness, etc. Things that can call you out. And I was thinking that this one would not pair, because this one did not pair with the Beautiful Beast Tarot either. See, there you go, victim consciousness. However, these two do pair. There's enough healing in this particular oracle that it plays into the self-care spot for the Tarot of Oneness, that the fact that this is more of a shadow work oracle doesn't stop it from pairing. It doesn't stop it from connecting. Self-sabotage, there you go. So, if you kind of want a little bit of a workaround to do quasi, shadow work with a non-shadow work deck, that's probably the oracle that you may want to see about getting. And moving right along, our next deck, this is the Sacred Earth Oracle. Oops, and it helps if I try to make sure that the deck is upright. As you can see, aesthetically, they are completely different for artwork, although I do like the aesthetics of both. And with the Sacred Earth having just a caption at the bottom, a keyword to utilize, you can take that keyword and run with it. You can also use your intuition, especially with the artwork. And I will say the Sacred Earth Oracle plays into the strength of the Tarot of Oneness when it comes to connections, if I remember right. Yeah, if I remember right, it plays into the connections and not the self-care. So for something a little more earthy, for those of you that like earth energy a little bit better, the Sacred Earth Oracle may be the way for you to go. And I have one last deck to quickly show you. And this is one of my newer decks. Right here, there's the backings. This is the Female Archangels Oracle. So for those of you that work with angels, this is the one deck in my collection that I have that covers angels that does actually pair with the Tarot of Oneness. Knowing that these two pair actually kind of gets me a little bit more motivated to use this deck, because that's an unexplored niche that apparently I needed to cover. So this is a newer deck to me. I haven't utilized it much yet. So getting a deck that speaks of connections that will probably help me connect further to this deck and the messages it can give me, that is a plus. And if anybody else out there who has more angel decks, let me know if any other angel decks you know of will also pair with the Tarot of Oneness. I'd be curious to know. All right, my lovelies, that is all the decks I have to show you that pair well with the Tarot of Oneness. I will be launching anti-pairs next, whether that'll be the Tarot Oracle that comes first. I don't know, flip a coin. But I will air the next video tomorrow. Please be on the lookout for it. I do have the poll up and open for voting for August's deck of the month. So please go ahead and go to my community tab and feel free to vote. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.